Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about zygomatic bones. Now these are paired bones forming prominence of cheek. An individual bone is diamond shaped with 3 surfaces, 2 processes and 5 borders, namely the lateral surface or outer surface, second is orbital surface and third is posterior surface. The 2 processes are frontal and temporal and 5 borders are anterosuperior border, posterosuperior border, anteroinferior border, posterior-inferior border, and fifth one is posteromedial border. Now let's see individual bony parts. Now first is the lateral surface. It is also termed as facial surface. See over here in articulated skull. You can compare it. This is the outer surface or lateral surface or the facial surface, and that is basically forming prominence of cheek. Now just below this infraorbital margin, you can see over here there are 1 to 2 foramina, and these are the zygomaticofacial foramina, which will allow passage of zygomaticofacial vessels and zygomaticofacial nerve. Now just below this infraorbital margin, okay, this outer surface is showing a prominence, triangular prominence, and this is providing attachment to levator labii superioris muscle. Now below and behind to this foramina, over here there is an oblique ridge. You can clearly appreciate over here. Now anterior aspect of this ridge provides attachment to zygomaticus minor, whereas posterior aspects provide attachment to zygomaticus major muscle. Now next is orbital surface. It is smooth, concave, and it forms part of floor and lateral wall of orbit. See over here, you can compare it with articulated skull. See this. So over here, this is the orbital surface of zygomatic bone, and here is the floor. This is the lateral wall. So these two parts are formed by the orbital surface of zygomatic bone. Now here also you can see a foramen below this orbital margin. Now this is zygomatico-orbital foramen. It is basically Y-shaped canal. So one limb opens in front in the form of zygomatico-facial foramen, and another limb of Y opens over here along the posterior surface, and that is termed as zygomatico-temporal foramen. Now you know zygomatico-facial foramen allows passage of zygomatico-facial vessels and nerve, whereas this zygomatico-temporal foramen will allow passage of zygomatico-temporal vessels and zygomatico-temporal nerve. Now another thing related to the orbital surface is approximately 1 centimeter below this frontozygomatic suture. See this. Just behind this orbital margin, somewhere over here, it shows a tubercle. This is termed as zygomatic tubercle or Wittnall's tubercle. Now this provides attachment to lateral cheek ligament, lateral palpebral ligament, suspensory ligament of eyeball, and aponeurosis of levator palpebrae superioris muscle. So these 4 structures are attached to this zygomatic tubercle or Wittnall's tubercle along the orbital surface. So this is regarding orbital surface. So far we have seen 2 surfaces, the lateral surface and second is orbital surface. Now comes the third surface. This is posterior surface, or it is also termed as temporal surface. See this. Now it is rough anteriorly and smooth and concave posteriorly. Now this rough anterior part will articulate with maxilla. It is also having a corresponding articular surface. This is the left maxilla, and over here this is its zygomatic process, and over here this anterior rough part of temporal surface will articulate like this. So this is how the articulation will take place. Okay, and this is how it looks like. You can correlate with articulated skull. See this. Now the posterior smooth part, which is concave, it forms anterior boundary of temporal and infratemporal fossa, Just see over here. So this is the territory of temporal fossa, and below is the infratemporal fossa. So here is the anterior boundary of these two fossa, and as we have discussed, it shows a foramen that is termed as zygomaticotemporal foramen, which will allow passage of zygomaticotemporal vessels and zygomaticotemporal nerve. So this is regarding temporal surface. So now you know three surfaces: lateral surface, orbital surface, and posterior surface. Now let's see processes. As I mentioned, there are two processes. The upper thick one is frontal process and the posterior short one is temporal process. Now this frontal process above articulates with zygomatic process of frontal bone. So over here you can see an articulated skull. So this is frontal process, which is very thick, which is very prominent, and above it articulates with corresponding zygomatic process of frontal bone at frontozygomatic suture. So this. Now this thick frontal process forms a line of buttress which allows dispersion of masticatory forces from molar and premolar teeth to the frontal bone. Second process is temporal process, which runs backward and it articulates with corresponding zygomatic process of temporal bone, and together they complete zygomatic arch. See this. See the same thing you can see in separate bones. This is frontal process. This will articulate with zygomatic process of frontal bone, and this is temporal process, and that will articulate with corresponding zygomatic process of temporal bone. So this is left temporal bone. This is the zygomatic process, and these serrated ends will join together like this, and together they complete zygomatic arch. Now the borders, as I mentioned, it has got 5 borders, namely anterosuperior, anteroinferior, posterosuperior, posterior-inferior, and fifth one is posteromedial. Now first comes the anterosuperior border. It forms infralateral margin of bony orbit. You can correlate it with articulated skull. See over here, this is the anterosuperior border, and it forms infralateral boundary of this bony orbit. Second is anteroinferior border. This articulates with maxilla. You can see over here the suture. The third is very important border. It is posterosuperior border. The shape is Italic alphabet F, and you need to identify this border to determine side of given zygomatic bone. Above it is continuous with posterior border of the zygomatic process of frontal bone, and posterior it is continuous with upper border of zygomatic arch. Just below this frontozygomatic suture, it shows a tubercle. This is termed as marginal tubercle, and throughout its extent it provides attachment to temporal fascia. Now fourth is postero-inferior border. This is rough, and behind it is continuous with lower border of zygomatic arch, and throughout its extent it provides origin to masseter muscle. Now fifth is the posteromedial border. Let's see in separate zygomatic bone. So over here, just let's revise first 4 borders. That is what we have discussed. This is anterosuperior, anteroinferior, posterosuperior. Now just see the shape of this posterosuperior border. It is Italic alphabet F. This is postero-inferior border, and the fifth one that is left is posteromedial border. Say this. Now upper part of this posteromedial border articulates with lateral border of orbital surface of greater wing of sphenoid. Let me show you sphenoid. Over here this is sphenoid, this is greater wing, this is lesser wing, and this is the orbital surface, and this is its lateral border. So this part of the greater wing of sphenoid will articulate with upper part of posteromedial border of zygomatic bone like this. See, this is how they are connected. Okay, and you can correlate the connection with articulated skull. This is how it looks like. Okay. Now lower part of the posteromedial border will articulate with maxilla. Let me connect maxilla as well. So over here this is posteromedial border and this is maxilla. So this is how it gets connected. So anteroinferior border and lower part of posteromedial border, are connected with maxilla. See over here, you can now see from behind very clearly, and this upper part will articulate with greater wing of sphenoid like this. See this. This is how the articulation will take place. Above with sphenoid, below with maxilla. Okay. Now this is the orbital surface of greater wing of sphenoid. This is its lateral border, and that is connected with upper part of posteromedial border. See this. So this is regarding borders. Now let's see points of side determination. For that you need to see for three things. Number one is the thick frontal process, which should direct upward. The second is convex outer surface or the facial surface, and third is the posterior border, which is looking like italic alphabet F. Okay, you can correlate with articulated skull. So this is left zygomatic bone I have. This is frontal process, this is the posterior superior border, and this is convex outer surface. Now let's try to determine side of other zygomatic bones I have. So over here, similar thing you can see for this is the thick frontal process, and this is the outer surface which is convex, and this is the posterior superior border. So it should be like this. So this is right zygomatic bone. Okay, let's try to determine side of another zygomatic bone I have. So again, this is frontal process, this is posterior superior border, and this is outer surface. So this is left zygomatic bone, this is right zygomatic bone. So this is regarding features and side determination of zygomatic bone. Hope you have understood well. Thanks for watching.